Hey everybody, Austin here again with another long play video. Today it's going to be Super Contra, the arcade version, played on the Xbox One via Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. For those of you guys that have been subbed for a little while and wondering what's going on here, I'm not saying let's play, I'm saying long play. I am bringing back the long play with post commentary. This is a video style I did starting in 2010 when I got my first capture card. I did it for a couple of years and then realized live let's plays where I combine the audio and the gameplay at the same time were just a lot easier. I'm basically doing everything live on the spot as opposed to now where I've already played through the game and then I'm adding a post commentary afterwards. The reason I'm going back to this format every now and then is that there are just some games I'm not going to be able to let's play the way I want. When I let's play games, I like to try to get through the games without continuing, or maybe in certain games get a one life clear, basically try to show off good gameplay, and that's really difficult to do in games like Super Contra Arcade where there's a lot of randomness and the game is very precision oriented. It's very difficult, much more difficult than most console games you will play. It's very difficult to do that live on the spot, get a good recording, and then be able to post the video. It probably took me at least 50 tries through, being rusty at the game and practicing to get this one life clear that we're going to look at here on this long play. So that's why I'm bringing back the format. What's cool about this format though is that I might actually be able to implement some extra video editing and things like that. Maybe some slow motion sequences to drive some points home, things like that. Things that I don't really like to do in my Let's Play videos. Those are kind of like easy one and done types of videos. So maybe with the post commentary here, I can focus on showing you guys some other things or honing in on specific points. So, but yeah, welcome back to the long play format. Again, we're going to be playing Super Contra today. With these long play videos, occasionally what I'll be doing is doing dedicated recordings, but in the case of this one, I actually took this straight from a Twitch archive. So this was actually a run I did live on Twitch. I'll have the actual live Twitch archive itself on my side Gameplay and Talk After Dark channel where I post my Twitch archives. So if anyone wants to see the full run, I'll have it posted over there. And because this was a Twitch archive, I've actually am going to be muting the music and stuff like that because you'll hear me talking in the background over top of the gameplay. But I'll put some other music underneath the gameplay as I talk you through this playthrough. So with that, let's go ahead and get into stage one here of Super Contra, the arcade version. Alright, so the first thing you want to do here in stage one is grab yourself either the spread shot or the machine gun. I prefer the machine gun on this playthrough because it just has longer range when it's fully upgraded. That's the spread shot behind me. If you've never played Super Contra before, what you'll notice is that it's got this pseudo-analog style aiming, and it's very tricky to get used to. You basically will hold down the fire button, and as you slightly rotate the stick to the upwards or downwards position, your character will aim in that direction slowly. And so what you're going to see me doing here is sort of tapering my shots, waggling the stick back and forth to get some nice little spread patterns with my machine gun. On this part right here, what we want to do is focus on three turrets that are popping up. There's usually one at the top, one at the bottom, then one in the middle, and they just all appear one after another. So you want to get rid of those first. You'll notice that I'm inching my way through as well. I'm taking my time. That's very, very important in Super Contra. The first big obstacle in this level is this tank, and for the tank I like to get a head start and destroy the gunner and then just rapidly mash the fire button to destroy the tank itself. Now what's cool about this machine gun right here is that you can actually attack faster than it shoots by quickly mashing the button, and that's how I can destroy that tank really quickly. Next thing we want to do is get a second machine gun here, which upgrades our gun fully, and then now you can see it's a super rapid fire weapon. What I want to do is take out these first two turrets and then destroy the core in the middle. Now if you're playing for score, you want to try to destroy all the parts of this helicopter, but it's not necessary for survival. So this is the last part of the level. What we do is I usually just sort of stop in place here, try to destroy the guys that are shooting at me like so. And this is just another example of how you kind of want to take your time in Super Contra, inch your way forward, don't just run straight through like you can in the NES Contra games. That doesn't really work too well in this game. So stage 2 here is a top-down level, and you have a couple of tricks you can do here. For one, you can actually catch yourself on the edges of walls and whatnot, and that's going to actually help us sort of aim a little bit better. We want to actually grab this second power-up capsule that's going to appear here. It's actually a bomb. It clears off everything on the screen just about, but I'm going to actually save it for the boss fight to get a quick kill on the boss fight of this level. Now there's a lot of waggling the stick back and forth for stationary guards and whatnot. Now that we've got our machine gun fully upgraded, we can actually destroy these turrets sort of from a distance as well. This next part here with the bridge can be a little tricky. You've got enemies spawning from both on top of you and behind you. Very important to take things relatively slow here. There are some more stationary turrets as well, so I can actually get caught here on the bridge intentionally and destroy these things from a distance in safety. That's what I like to do. You can see I'm trying to waggle the stick back and forth, not always working the best, but it does work eventually. Here is the quick kill. I always try to get a few hits on the boss and then just use the bomb immediately afterwards, just like that. So stage 3 here has a couple of major hazards to deal with. In the trees, you'll have gunners that will shoot down at you. You also have a lot of ground-based gunners as well, including ground turrets and stationary gunners as well. Now you also have to deal with the front layer, which is these trees blocking your view. And I've actually gotten killed by those trees many, many times because enemies will be hiding behind those trees as I'm pushing the screen forward. So you have to be really, really careful in this whole level here and watch out for the guys from the ceilings. There's going to be a couple of stationary turrets right here. There's going to be a missile launcher coming up, which is completely random. Its shots come out completely randomly, so that's one of those parts where you have to be on your toes and really be watching out. Enemy spawns and things like that, like the popcorn enemies, they are completely random as well. So I actually got a really bad spawn set right there where they were basically blocking my way up that tree trunk. So you have to really be on your toes when you're playing this game. Watch out for the randomness. There are going to be some little aliens crawling on the ceiling. The first one actually starts on the ground, and then the other 3 are on the ceiling, so you've got to watch out for that. That power-up that just flew by was actually a spread shot, and I always try to avoid the power-up canisters in this because if I pick up the wrong weapon, I can completely screw up my run. For this boss coming up right here, what I like to do is destroy these enemies that are higher up on its arms, and it just gives you a little bit of peace of mind. These guys aren't really all that threatening, so it's not really super imperative that you do this, but it does make life just a little bit easier. And then after that, I go for the core that's spawning out these little snake-like aliens, and I make sure that I only taper my shots lightly against this core. The more you hit it, the more these guys pop out, and it's actually very easy to get overwhelmed the second you destroy this thing, and his second pattern starts here with these projectiles. All you have to do is just, as long as you're pummeling him straight up vertically, the second he goes into his last phase, you'll kill him before his projectiles become a threat. Just make sure you're shooting the middle projectile, otherwise it might catch up to you. So this level is actually really tricky. You've got lots of walking aliens or running aliens coming at you. They take several hits, so if you lose your weapons here, they are very difficult to deal with your pea shooter. You'll notice that I'm just treating weapon drops as if they are enemies. I'm just waiting for them to despawn or just not shooting the canisters at all. This part right here, you've got 3 little flying enemies that come at you. You can just, deal with them by shooting straight forward and just inching your way forward. Remember that inching your way forward in this game is very, very important, and it's especially important on this level too. And we have more weapon drops right here as well, and again, I want to try to avoid them. One mechanic I haven't talked much about in this playthrough is the high jump. If you hold up and jump, you'll jump higher, and to get onto those platforms, you have to do up and jump to get up to them. And there's going to be a mini boss fight here. Fans of the NES Super Contra will know this boss, although it's a little bit more tricky here. Fortunately, it doesn't have as much HP, and so it goes down really quickly. I like to just waggle my stick back and forth to spread out my projectiles, and then that'll take out the boss and destroy the enemies that are surrounding him, or the enemies that he's spawning. Last point of contention is just to get to the end safely. Aliens will spawn behind us, and there are going to be some eggs here we want to take out first. And there's going to be an egg right here, right at the boss that we need to take out, and then we're just going to hold up and shoot. And with this machine gun, we will get a quick kill on this boss, and his projectiles fortunately disappear after you destroy him. The final level here is top down, and it is a very, very difficult level, and having the machine gun helps out a lot. So what I'm going to be doing a lot is waggling my stick back and forth. The first power-up is going to be a bomb. We're going to be using this bomb on a very specific part. Just like in the NES version of Super C, you've got mouths that appear out of the floor. And what I like to do, instead of rushing through, is to actually destroy the mouths, because it seems like they stop spawning after you kill a certain amount. It seems like there's 3 on this first half, and usually 3 on the second half. On this playthrough, I think I only saw 2 appear on the second half. But I like to get rid of them, and then it feels like it's relatively safe to keep moving. Now, you have to be playing on your toes and on your feet, because their spawns are random as well. Where they appear is random. There's no rhythm or rhyme to it. So this is going to be a taste for the next section. You've got this head that spins around you, a little tricky to deal with. This next section, I'm going to use a bomb to destroy all the other heads that appear around me. So I'm going to get a few shots on them first, and then use a bomb, just like that. That's a very difficult section to get past without using your bomb, so I prefer to use my bomb on that part. For this part, you want to try to just watch out for the orbs that appear on the sides of the screen. And what I actually did on this playthrough, and this is my first time actually getting through this part without dying, is actually actively going for the orbs as they appear. So notice I actually turned towards them. And for the first phase of our final boss here, the idea is just to pummel them as quickly as possible as they scroll into the screen, just like that, and kill them before they can even do anything to you. And if you don't have the upgraded machine gun here, that is really difficult to get through without taking a hit. And this is our second phase of the final boss, and all we have to do is shoot up the middle. He's got these 2 snake arms that come out. You can try to destroy them for extra points. His eyeballs will block your shots at first. On his first attack here, he shoots out these organic balls that act as shields to his weak spot. After that, he shoots out these little Grim Reaper style bugs that just fly around. Now, the way they come out is not the same every time. Sometimes they'll veer out to the left, sometimes they'll veer out to the right. So you have to really be on point with destroying those. And all you do is just try to hit the weak spot, move back, hit the Grim Reaper, move forward, hit the weak spot, and so on and so forth, especially if you've died and you've just got your rinky-dink machine gun. And that's it. That is Super Contra, the arcade version. That was a 1 life clear on it, and hopefully you guys that are playing this game or have played this game but want to go back to it, or maybe you want to learn the game, hopefully seeing this long play will help you out. Super Contra arcade is definitely a lot of trial and error. Yes, there's memorization involved. There are a lot of stationary enemies that are in the same spot every time you play, but whether they fire at a certain rate or whether other popcorn enemies bombard you is completely up in the air. And so there is a lot of randomness to the game as well, and that's what makes it difficult. So this was actually my first 1 life clear in probably over a decade. I had played this game a lot when it first came out on Xbox 360. Got many 1 life clears back then, but when I started to practice for this 1 life clear, I was extremely rusty, and I basically had to relearn the game from the ground up and relearn all the boss patterns and whatnot. Upgraded machine gun is my recommended strategy. You can try it with spread shot. It's not too bad with spread shot either, but there are some benefits to having the upgraded machine gun over the spread shot. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, be sure to post them down below. Let me know what you thought of this new long play format, or the revisit to this old long play format that I used to do a long time ago. And let me know what you thought of the playthrough. I'll be working on more difficult games as well sometime soon. I'm always working on some challenging games that are just sort of personal goals of mine. Again, Radiant Silvergun is another one. And so once I get a good clear on that, I will take the archive and, do a commentary on that as well. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. I've got many videos like this and many more to come. For everyone already subbed, thank you for your continued support. And until the next one, take it easy.